Yo, what up? What up? It's your boy Relly Rel, the illest right here, man. Doing what I do always, all day. Uh, Shout outs to Killer Noise. Shout outs to Unbiased Review Group. You know what I'm saying? Shout outs to everybody in the group. No, I did the last event that I went to. You know what I'm saying? And I figured why not do this one since I was live and direct. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna give y'all my take on all of the battles that happened that night. I may even give y'all two of the PG ones in as much detail as I can. Um, and then after that, you know what I'm saying, holla at me and go on from there. So let me get the two PG joints out the way that I remember at least. No disrespect to the other dudes, because there was a lot of dudes that came in that did their thing, like the dude Tone, the dude D Eagle, or B Eagle, whatever his name was. No disrespect. There was a few dudes that came in and they did their thing. But the first battle I'm gonna talk about is Cash Eaton from St. Louis versus I'm sorry, I mean Cash Eaton from Detroit versus Danger Zone from Maryland. Body bag, yo. Period. Like that nigga body bag Cash Eaton. Like body bagged him, fam. Like I mean everybody know in the group I already said it. I'm not a humongous fan of Cash Eaton like that. And I mean, to me personally, he just wasn't talking that shit like that. That nigga Danger Zone, my dude. That nigga was spazzing on that nigga. Like, he was spazzing. And, like, I don't know if it was the second round or the third round, he had used this, like, this scheme, like this Jay-Z scheme. I ain't giving no bars out or nothing like that, but, like, he had used this scheme, and it was like the nail in the coffin. Like, it was like, oh, yeah, he's dead. He's out of here. Like, there's nothing that Cash Eaton could say that was better than that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I ain't gonna say that Cash Eaton didn't say nothing because I would be lying. Because like the first round, Cash Eaton was saying some stuff. Because like the first time round from both of them was like, okay, Danger Zone saying some nice little stuff. He was using some little wordplay, you know, sports flips, and it was nice. And Cash Eaton was also nice too. But Danger Zone edged him that first round. But the second two rounds, he killed that nigga. I'm talking about like killed that nigga. You know what I'm saying? So like I give that one real shit. I give that one to Danger Zone. I mean I ain't the only one. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure Chris from Unbiased, he gonna say the same thing as me as well as anybody else who was there. They gonna agree. So I ain't gonna say no more names, but yeah. Um, then the next battle that I remember from the PGs, because a lot of stuff was there was a lot of stuff going on. Uh, was the main event. Well, it was supposed to. It wasn't supposed to be the main event. The main event was supposed to be Dose. You know, Dose from Math Battle, whatever. Was supposed to go against. He was supposed to go against. Um, he was supposed to go against AR-16, but AR-16 pulled out at the last minute, and then he not only did he pull out at the last minute, but he also he was like extra mad and didn't show up, made his flight, and then J Dose didn't come in either. So the main event ended up being Just Juice versus Prince Lord. Yo, this battle was crazy. I'm gonna tell you like this: Prince Lord's first round was like almost epic. It was like a real nigga's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he was spitting that shit was like a real nigga's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like he was talking that shit to that nigga that first round. Like that first round couldn't have been said better. Like it was on some like to me it was like very similar to like T Rex versus G Soldier. Like it was like he was talking that shit to him, and he definitely had the best round of the night and the best bar in that round of the night. Like period, no questions. Like Prince Lord's first round was crazy. And then like the crowd was like, I mean, it was only a few of us at this point, but like the crowd was kind of like, damn, how Just Juice gonna come back from that? Because it was a 3 round battle, and Just Juice first round was okay, but like compared to that shit that Prince Lord had said, he was like, oh, this nigga about to kill Just Juice. Like Just Juice ain't got no chance. And then the second round happened, and Prince Lord's second round was good, but it was nowhere near the like like the the degree of it was like nowhere near the degree of of his first round. You know what I'm saying? So I actually gave that round to Just Juice, and then the second, and then the third round, Just Juice's third round was crazy. Like he started like it was like he packed all his bars, like all his like real hard bars, in the third round. And I'm talking about he was hitting them with punches. Prince Lord's third round kind of was like kind of weak, and Earl came on stage and hollered at him. So he definitely got a meeting with Earl in his third round. So yeah, it wasn't pretty, but he was supposed to win. Like he was supposed to come away with that win, and you know what I'm saying. To me, I had to be a real nigga, and I had to, you know what I'm saying. I had to give it to Prince. I mean, I'm sorry, I had to give it to Just Juice, because he just was. It was just he was like that second round. It was the debatable round, but you had to kind of like they both didn't bring it, so you had to decide. Well, out of the who was the lesser of the bad of the bad round, and like it was Just Juice, and then his third round was like way better than Prince Law's third round, so that's how I had to come up with that. Damn, I see how long I've been talking now, so let me get to the other battles. So let me give y'all night of main events. You know what I'm saying? June 17th. First and foremost, it was a wonderful experience because I was surprised to see as many people from Chicago came out. It had to be like 1,000 people at this battle, which was good compared to the St. Louis battle, because the St. Louis battle didn't have that many people. It was like maybe like 200. You know what I'm saying? That's real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It had probably like 200 for Hitman versus Verb. But this joint had like a stack. Maybe it was either like maybe it was like a little bit more than a stack, maybe a little bit less. There was a lot of females in the crowd, a lot of females. I mean, I ain't gonna like be like, oh my god, but it definitely was more females in this crowd than it was like at Summer Madness, and that's real shit. Maybe some of them was with they man, some of them maybe some of them wasn't, but it was a lot more females at this battle than I ever seen before. Um, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was cool to meet a lot of the people that was in the unbiased group that was there. You know what I'm saying? There was a lot of us, and I'm gonna shout all y'all that was there at the end. Um, and to actually talk to some of the stars, Smack was talking to us like he was like meeting us at the door and showing us love if you came in a certain time. It was crazy. So it was a good experience. And plus, not only did I come fresh to death, but I came with a nice little joint that was, you know what I'm saying? Probably, I think me and another rapper, I ain't gonna say his name, but we probably had the best two females in the building. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just leave that alone. You know what I'm saying? Before niggas get big heads, or females get big heads too. But so let me get to the battle shit. So you know what I'm saying? As everyone knows, since Miles didn't come into the battle, since Miles didn't come to the battle, you know what I'm saying, that nigga Conceited was just like walking around like a celebrity. Niggas was stopping him and blah blah blah. So niggas was like, all right, they had to do some shit real quick. So the first battle was KP and Skull. So it wasn't the best battle. It was probably it wasn't even the worst. It wasn't the worst battle of the night. It wasn't. You know what I'm saying? Because Skull was from Skull from the Bronx, New York. He's been on Smack a bunch of times. He was like Smacks before there was a proving ground. He was that proven. He was like he's what created the proving grounds. Like I think they created the proving grounds based on Skull, and that's not me dissing him. It's the truth. It was like I always thought Skull was decent. I just thought like he never got the respect he deserved, and he always got like low tier comp. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Until he went against Cannon. Cannon was his chance to like prove himself, and then KP only went against AR-16. I mean, I know KP because now I live in Chicago, so I heard his name through the streets from before that. And then, you know what I'm saying, he did win against AR-16. So with this battle, I say it was like this. The first round was very, like, Skull went first. Skull was saying some good shit. He was like, you know what I'm saying, kind of like styling on the nigga a little bit. And then he did his thing his first round, and then KP did his thing his first round too. But like Skull round was just a little bit more entertaining. You know what I mean? He had a little bit of comedy in it. He had some bars. His bars wasn't like haymakers and shit like that, but he had some nice like what I'm saying, some nice bars. Like, you know what I'm saying? Nice little word play here, there's nice little multis. So the multi scheme. So he did his thing his first round. So I give the first round to Skull. But then the other two rounds you had to give to KP. You know what I'm saying? Because since KP was like he came prepared. Because what he said in the battle, first he addressed um, AR-16 talking trash about him, and then on top of that, he um he addressed like the fact that when he battled before, when he battled AR-16, he didn't have a full 3 rounds. I think he only had 1 round, and the other ones was like mixtape verses or whatever. So that's why that battle ain't get no light. So he went in like I mean he did a lot of stuff. His performance was kind of crazy. He had some average bars here and there, but like he had some joints, and then he had like he was really like he kind of it was like he was almost kind of like punking Skull, and it wasn't like he was punking Skull because Skull was not that nigga to be punked, but he did some stuff that like I know that was making Skull mad. Like you know what I'm saying, he took Skull hat off, and you know what I'm saying? He was kind of like touching Skull, and it was like Skull was like being real cool, and I guess it was because he was out of town, so he ain't want those problems, which is a smart move because if I ain't got nobody really like that in Chicago, I ain't gonna make no stupid moves either. You know what I'm saying? Or wherever I'm at. So, but overall, I give the battle to KP 2-1. It was a very good battle. It was entertaining. It was entertaining. It was probably like if for y'all that's going to watch it on camera, it was probably like let me think of one that I can compare it to. It was probably like in a sense of entertainment wise, it was probably like Luciano Crack versus JC. It was probably like a battle like that in the sense of entertainment, not bar wise, but like entertaining wise. So the next battle was JC versus YK. Yo, I said JC 2-1 before I got there. I said, yo, JC 2-1. There's a possibility he might body bag Pedro. If he do it the right way, he could body bag Pedro. Before I give you my predictions, let me just tell you this, yo. I mean the results. JC died, yo. Like JC died. He got his ass whooped, and I mean whooped. Like he got his ass whooped. Like I know. For give you an example, what he did to Rosenberg Raw is what YK did to that nigga. Like a lot of niggas give JC the 3-0 on Raw. I don't, but I give him that second 2 rounds. I say he whooped Rosenberg ass. That's exactly what YK did to him. I'm talking about today. That first round, JC he was going off. He was spitting some shit. He was spitting some hot shit, and his shit was lethal. And then he also spit, and then YK has spit some shit, but it was like that was like more of a debatable round. But I gave it to JC. To me, it was more like I gave it to JC. But if a nigga came and said I give YK to win 3-0, I wouldn't be mad. I would be like, nah, but JC shit, it was too crazy. But that second and third round, like yo, JC, like yo, why, like JC second round was cool. He was okay. He wasn't really. He was okay. He was okay. You know what I'm saying? He said some shit, but it was like YK pulled a fucking. Pulled like a rabbit out of the hat type trick. Yo, he said some. He used a scheme that had something to do with Smack and JC, and it was crazy. And then on the third one, he addressed like the he. I mean, in the first 2 rounds, he didn't say nothing about JC dancing. He didn't say shit about it in the first 2 rounds. And then in the third round, he had said something about it, and it was real small, but the way he did it was so powerful. He automatically took that round. And I mean, like when y'all see, y'all gonna be like, "Oh shit, this nigga YK spaz." He took an approach of the dancing in a way that nobody ever did before. Nobody. So he definitely got that battle. Like if anybody says YK lost that battle, to me, you're lying. Like that's how I feel. Like you just don't want to see JC lose, or you just particularly are a fan of JC and like what JC raps better than what you like YK. YK stepped his game up all the way. He wasn't yelling a bunch and doing all these funny hand movements. Like he learned from that Swave Seven battle. Like he really did, yo. He stepped his game up. The next battle was John Adon and QP. Now this battle was a very very good battle and it's very very debatable, very debatable. Um, Personally, I give it 2-1 QP, and this is why. John the Don's first round was immaculate. Like when I tell you it was immaculate, it was well written. That round was not for QP. That round was for Calico. First of all, he even addressed it and said he took shots at Calico, and then he went in, like my nigga, like he had the bar of the whole event. PG, all of that. Whoever rapped that night, John the Don had the best line of the night. And then right after that line, he had another line that was immaculate, which was the second best line of the night. How you go from doing the best line of the night and then 8 bars later do the second best line of the night? That's crazy. Mind you, you know what I'm saying? We got other niggas that's on the card. That's punchline niggas. He had the best line of the night in the first round. First round, hands down, was John Don. Anybody say it was not John Don is lying. Even QP himself gonna tell you like John Don took that first round. QP said some shit. I'm not gonna stun on him. That nigga QP said some lead through shit, but it was, it was what it was. That second round, John Don's round was he kind of like fell off, and then like I'm not sure if it was this round or the third round, but like John has said something about Big T, and what I mean he addressed all the niggas that was talking about him, like Big T, Calico, Hitman, and like he had said something about Big T, and then like the crowd erupted and like not in a good way. They booed him and everything. Like, and it was like, damn, that shit wasn't a good look. That nigga QP though, man, QP, his second round was crazy. He started spitting that shit at him. And then the third round, like he had a full third round. Like he was like really, and what happened was, why a lot of people aren't giving him that win is because QP tried to make fun of himself. Like he tried to do like a cannabis thing, like that he forgot his bars and tried to pull out his phone like it was the cannabis notebook. But the crowd really thought he was choking and would not let him live that shit down and started booing QP. So some people look at that as okay, well QP lost that battle because the nigga, the crowd. It wasn't to me. I didn't feel like I feel like his third round was just overall better than John Don's. But I can see why somebody give it John Don 2-1. But me personally, I gave it QP 2-1. But it was a great battle. Like it was not no real part of it was boring. I mean, John the Don's third round was kind of a little bit weaker than the other, like the first round to me, but it was still decent. And QP's third round was a little bit weaker too, but it was like he was going off. So I give it, like I said, QP 2-1. And then the next battle of the night was Big Cannon and Old Red. Personally, best battle of the night. I mean, majority of people said Old Red and Cannon was the best battle of the night. It was a fucking slugfest. It was like uh, I'm sorry, Big Cannon went first, and it was like he was just raising the bar. Like he was just like the first round he was going off. Like he did some ill shit. Like boom, 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 boom. So you're like, oh, okay, he going how Red gonna match this, right? Red come right back and he did some crazy shit. Like I don't want to tell y'all what he did, but he did some crazy shit. Like in the first round, to try to set Big Cannon up. Like so he took that round, right? Then Big Cannon's second round, he rebutted what Old Red did in the first round. Like he rebutted like this crazy shit that Old Red had did in the first round. He rebutted it, fam. Like he rebutted it nasty. And then his second round was better than his first round. But then Old Red's second round was way better. Like it was like Old Red's second round was fire. Like his second round was fire. And he like really like tried to expose Big Cannon for like who Big Cannon is or whatever. Then Big Cannon then so Old Red took that round too. So Old Red was up 2-0. You know what I'm saying? Then Big Cannon come with that third round. It was crazy. It was crazy. He clearly took the third round. He rebutted the shit. He rebutted the shit that Old Red did in the first and the second round. He rebutted the shit that Old Red did in the second round. And then he rebutted like he had some shit like he had said some shit about clips. Like he said some shit about Clips using that controller bar against Old Red. Like it was, and he used it against Clips too. And then he had another rebuttal that was after that that was crazy. So he had freestyle probably like his first 16 bars in his third round, and then got to his writtens, and it was just insane. I mean, Old Red's third round was nice, but it was like it was nothing that he could do. But the battle goes to Old Red 2-1, first two rounds, and then the last one goes to Big Cannon. But Big Cannon put up a hell of a fight. It wasn't like he got destroyed. He just got outclassed and outmatched. Like Old Red is ready to be a top 10 nigga. You give that nigga one more battle. Like I don't know if it's a top 10 nigga or a mid 10 nigga. Give him somebody like K Shine or Rex or some shit like that, and that nigga gonna be top tier real soon. Like real shit. He on that shit right now. He not taking no L's no time soon. Then the next battle tonight. So that was. Then the next battle since Con and Midwest Miles didn't happen, they went straight to Young Ill and Cortez. I'm gonna make this short. It literally is the worst battle in Smack history. Like the worst battle in history. Like not the worst battle in history, because I'm still kind of trying to decide if it was worse than Cannabis versus. It's not worse than Cannabis versus Disaster, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason why it's not is because it's just not it's just not. Um, Young Ill, obviously, you've read the post or whatever, and if you haven't, if you're not in a group, you know what I'm saying, they were saying that Young Ill was going through some shit. Young Ill didn't want to be at the battle in the first place. He tried to do some things that he could work it out with the company so he wouldn't have to, be at the battle. He had some personal shit going on. He didn't want to be there, but he showed up anyway. So a lot of people not giving him pass, but it is what it is. He had some like some real serious personal shit going on. So when he got there, you could tell the way he looked, the way he dressed. It was just like he had no haircut. Like everything about him was just like off. He looked like he ain't been at the crib. He ain't been shining. He looked like he was a homeless, depressed dude. Like that's what he looked like. And Ill is my dude, like one of my favorites. He's my top. He's my second favorite. Like he's my number two. No homo. You know what I'm saying? So that's my nigga. But it just was a bad look. So like I'm gonna go to it. It was a 2 round battle because Ill said he ain't having no third round. So it was like that's already off because Smack would hate to do a 1 round battle. Why would he? You know what I'm saying? Why would he do a 2 round battle? So there's a great chance. I'm almost 97% sure that this battle will not be released ever. Um, the first round went like this. Young Ill's first round was like he ain't have no energy. He was spitting some lines, but it was like it didn't matter because he was like spitting it very slow, and his hand movements was off. It looked like watching like a sad drunk person trying to like do ballet or some shit. Not like ballet, but like do some like artistic shit that you know that they're better at doing, but they just didn't do well. The nigga just was, and on top of that, he ended his first round with like 45 seconds. Like the crowd was like, "What the fuck?" Because mind you, the crowd came to see Young Ill. Like the battle that they came to see was Young Ill versus Cortez. Before this battle, Young Ill was the like a fan, like one of the top 3 or 4 most popular battlers in the game. He was a cash machine, and it's just the crowd just started like erupting, and it was so bad that when Cortez started spitting, niggas overlooked what Cortez was saying. Cortez took out a lot of shit in his bars. Cortez didn't really come that hard. He took his, I mean, he got that first round like easy, but like it was like he didn't. I can't tell you one thing he said in that first. I can't tell you anything either one of them said in that first round. I do remember Cortez said some shit about like he used a nice Chicago bar at L. I won't give the bars out, but he did say a nice one. But I don't know if that was the first round or the second round. So the first round is automatically Cortez because he went like 2 minutes and a half to like Young Ill's 45-second mark. So Young Ill was getting pissed off. Like he's like, damn, I really can't let this nigga kill me like that. So in his second round, Young Ill started saying some shit in the beginning. Like he started having some bars, and he actually had the third best bar of the night. Like he really had the third best bar of the whole night. Like if he would have said it better, it could have possibly been the bar of the night or the second bar of the night. But it was the way he said it is the reason why it was not the best bar of the night. But it still hit hard. Like he just basically came at young Cortez about or Cortez's record and Cortez and Shotgun Shug, and he just went off, and then he had like 3 hard hitting bars in that shit, like 3 hard hitting like almost haymakers type, and then it was like he stumbled a word, and when he stumbled that word, like he went like a good minute and some change, and when he stumbled that word, the crowd started to boo him because it was like, oh shit, he jamming. Like he ain't even like jam like it wasn't like Calico versus Kayshawn jam. It was like a nigga stuttered, and when he stuttered that word, the crowd erupted, and then he just stopped. He just like fuck it, I'm gonna end it right here. You already know what I'm about to do to this nigga, and just stop. So it was like boom, and then Cortez's second round. I can't remember not like to be honest with you, I can't remember nothing Cortez said. Like I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm dead ass. Like a lot of people giving it to Cortez 2-0, and I understand that. I personally give it 1-1, and this is the reason why. Because even though Young Ill's round, and a lot of niggas gonna say it's bullshit, and I understand that's fine. You can completely say like, "Real, you bugging." I ain't even mad at it. But Young Ill said in that minute and some change, Young Ill said the best bars of the whole battle. Like the whole battle that they had. Young Ill said it in them first in his minute and probably a half round. So I had to like, I mean, Cortez went like 2.5, and since the crowd wasn't paying attention, he just stopped because he was like, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna do this shit. Like, what's the point of me wasting these bars?" Niggas almost started booing. Like, I felt bad for Cortez because he came to like, it's not his fault at all. It's Young Ills, and the young, like I said, Young Ills is my favorite. And Young Ills my nigga. Like, I know Young Ill. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know, yo. It's just so. I give it 1-1, but if a nigga gave it, but the majority of people giving it 2-0, and I completely see why, like completely, like no part of me is like, nah, them niggas is bugging. I just said, like I said, I just gave it because Young Ill had that nasty ass bar. Then the next battle was A Verb and X Factor, and I'm gonna make this real short. X Factor dropped 30 on that nigga. 3-0. No round I can give to Verb. No round. Like even Verb himself came out on Twitter and said, I give the win to X Factor. Like whether he's probably not gonna say I got it, I give it to him 3-0, but he's gonna say I give it to him 2-1. He already said that he gave the win to X Factor. X Factor whooped his ass. Like whooped his ass. All three rounds, no round. Like the only round that's kind of debatable is the first one. The second round from Avert was trash. X Factor killed him that round, and then the third round, the third round. A lot of niggas is saying that Avert choked, and he didn't really choke. He fucked up. Like to me, a choke is like what Hitman Holla did, what like old Red did, like you know what I'm saying, what fucking like when nigga forget his bar completely, and then like you get like a 5 to 10 second pause. It wasn't like that. It was like a real jam. Like he messed up a word, forgot a word for like 3 seconds, and then when he was going back to spit. The crowd erupted and was started booing him because he choked. So they was like, "Oh, you choked, nigga, you choked." So I don't consider it a choke. I consider it jam. But in that third round, nigga, that third round, X Factor spazzed on that nigga. X Factor had the second best round of the night, like with that shit. Like either he had the second best, yeah, I say he was the second best round of the night because I give the third best round of the night to KP's, I mean Big K's third round against O Red. X Factor's third round was crazy, and he ain't do priorities. It ain't priorities no more, my nigga. It's loyalty, nigga. Not priorities, loyalty, nigga. Watch. That's all I'm gonna say is just watch. If you come back and say Aver won, you are a liar, fam. I'm sorry. Like I'm not a dick right. I don't use that word no more. You're not a fan. You're just a liar. Like no part of Averb won that battle. Even Averb himself came and said I lost on Twitter. And you can ask Tamika Jackson because she favored it and showed me like the nigga actually said this. So no, he lost, nigga, like bad. He lost all 3 rounds. All three. Not even convincingly. No, none of them is really debatable. Only round that's debatable is the first one. And that's kind of debatable. That nigga whooped that nigga's ass, period. Dropped 30 on that nigga. He ain't body bag him. I don't consider it a body bag. Because a body bag is Verb didn't say nothing. And Verb said some shit. It just wasn't enough compared to what X Factor said. X Factor dropped 30 on that nigga. 3-0, my nigga. Dropped 30. The next battle is the battle of the night. Big T versus Calypse. Now, this is what I'm gonna say about this battle. This battle can go either way. I had a debate about this battle constantly, and will continue to have this debate about this battle. You're going to a lot of people. Some people have said that Clips 1-1, and that's fair. The first thing you have to notice is that nobody's going to ever say that Clips won 3-0. So now Big T is the first person to clearly take a round from Charlie Clips. Clearly. Like he clearly took a round. So nobody could say, "Oh, Charlie Clips is the greatest. Nigga ain't never lost a round. All that shit about Charlie Clips and JC not losing rounds, that shit ended tonight. Big T beat the shit out that nigga in the room. Like beat the shit out of him. And this is why I say he beat the shit. Destroyed him? No, he did not destroy Clips. You can't destroy Clips. In the room, he beat the shit out of him. One, because he outperformed Clips, right? He literally outperformed Clips, like dancing, moving around, doing funny shit, saying the shit that the crowd, he had the crowd saying shit with him, all of that. And he ain't reused none of his shit. He ain't used no angles, whatever. This is how it goes. The first round, Clips go first. Clips come out, he say some shit. He say some nice shit. It's like he got some haymakers, but it ain't really enough. But it's nice. His first round is a nice solid round. It's not the best Clips ever, but it's a nice solid round. Big T's first round beat the shit out his first round. Beat the shit out his first round. Like if a nick like my nigga, no part of you could say Big T lost that first round because within the first 4 bars, Big T hit him with a haymaker, and everybody know Big T take like 8 to 12 bars to get to his haymakers, and when they land, they like humongous. My nigga, he was giving this nigga Clips haymaker after haymaker after haymaker after haymaker for a minute, right? And it was so bad to the point that he turned to the crowd. And mind you, before the battles, Big T kept on saying that Clips got a glass jaw. He knew he was whooping his ass that round, so he turned to the crowd and start tapping his jaw. Like, you see, I'm tapping this nigga jaw, right? Like, you see, I told you this nigga about to have a glass jaw. I'm tapping this nigga jaw. Like, so he fucked that nigga. Like that first round, he fucked that nigga up. Then the second round, what happens is Clips is saying some shit, and it's not going over well because like the first that second round in the beginning, like I said, like the first minute, Clips was kind of like but like what happened is Clips he said something about like he reused a bar. Like he reused a bar that he used against Verb and like tried to like make it sound better or whatever. But what happened was the crowd didn't like it. Like you can't use that. Like me and somebody was talking about this. Like he shouldn't have used that. He shouldn't have used that bar in that crowd. It's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? And you can't use a certain bar in certain places and think it's gonna work. And it just didn't work. Like we said, it didn't work. So the crowd started to boo him. Clips look like, oh shit, these niggas is booing me. The nigga gets mad and goes, fuck that. I'm about to spit these written because he was like freestyling some shit, I guess, and he started spitting them writtens and he got the crowd instantly right back, like instantly. So I give him that round clearly. But Big T's second round was still fire. Like he still said some shit. I just think that Clips overall showed that he was a true champion in that round and could get the crowd to boo this nigga and come right back and take the crowd right back. But T never lost the crowd the whole time. He never lost the crowd. Like he never was boring. He may have said some whack shit, but he never was boring. Like he may have said some balls that you was like, huh? Even man. So look, man. So then the round that's the debatable round is the third round. That's the round like nobody like the round that everybody gives to Clips is gonna be two, the second and the third, and the people that's giving it to T is giving the first and the third. So or if they're not giving it 3-0, because I do know a bunch of people that was there that said that that said Big T 3-0 Clips. I don't see it. I just say Big T to one him. But that third round is the debatable round. Now Clip said some shit. He said some mean shit. Um, but it was like it just wasn't going over. Like towards the end, he started doing that like psych, I lied, nigga shit, and it just didn't go over well. So like the way he ended his third round was off. Plus he was out spitting T. Like cause like all his rounds he went for like 4 minutes and some change, and Big T always stopped like exactly at 3:30. Like it was like exactly at 3:30. And I guess in the second round, what happened was Big T like had did some shit to like stop Charlie Clips from going over because like Charlie Clips in the second round were like 440, 426, and Big T got mad like nigga, you going a whole minute over, you need to stop. And then what happens is they talk about it whatever. But in this third round, to me, what happened was Big T started losing, like the same thing that Charlie Clips did in the second round. That's what Big T did. Like in the beginning he was kind of like he wasn't all that, and then he did this scheme that it was just immaculate and it just worked. So I mean it just worked. Even Big T said like, I mean, even Clips told me himself. He was like, if it wasn't for like he was losing in the beginning, then he started coming back in his third round, and in that third round, he just started like spazzing after he hit that one scheme. It was like everything else after that was just bars. It was just bars or haymakers and bars and haymakers. And I give it 2-1, man. I give it 2-1 Big T, man. Clips was nice. Clips is my nigga. Like Clips is my brother. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Clips know he my man's. Like he know that. Like me, Mickey Facts, Clips, Goods, and fucking my girl and Chris Unbiased was arguing outside for like 20 minutes about the battle. Like 20 minutes clean. Like 20 minutes arguing. And as much as Unbiased, who's my nigga, Chris is my nigga, Chris is gonna say I was losing that. He know I was winning that debate because the only thing that they could say about me or say when I was saying real shit about them, like about him losing the battle, because I told him in his face that he lost the battle. Like I told that nigga he owed me some Harold's chicken because he lost the battle. The nigga only could do was like make fun of me and tell me and make jokes about my girl, him and Goods, because that's how I knew that I was winning the debate. So they started making fun of me, which was all good because those are my niggas. But you know what I'm saying, like. But it was a good battle overall. You know what I'm saying? I hope that Big T don't come out and say he 3-0 Clips though, because he didn't 3-0 him. To me, he did it. Like a nigga, like but what this is what I say. In the room, Big T beat the brakes off him in the room because Big T never was boring. Big T outperformed Clips. He had bar after bar after bar. And then if you think about it, I'm a challenge to all the reviewers and all the people who watched it. Think about, I want you to write down all the hot bars that you remember from Clips. It's probably like 3 or 4 if you really remember. But then think about the bars that you remember from Big T. Now that's probably gonna be a little bit harder because you're gonna be like, what? Then you're gonna start walking around throughout the day, and then you're gonna start looking at certain shit that was around you and start remembering that, yo, this nigga Big T was saying some shit. I had an argument. Like I'm not gonna say who was with who was with, but last night I had an argument, right? Like it was me, my girl, and this other couple who was at the battle, and throughout the whole night of us kicking it, we kept saying bars that Big T said of the night, comparing it to Clips who had the hotter bars. And not only did we say that Clips had the hotter, I mean, did we say that Big T had the hotter bars, but he had the most memorable bars and parts of the battle. On top of that, if even though Mickey Fax says that Clips 121, if you look at the footage and see his face, it says it right there. He knows that fucking Big T won because if you look at his face, he reacted to Big T's bars way more than he did Clips. Now, when the footage dropped, do I think that Clips may have a chance of niggas saying that Clips won? Yes, I do. I honestly do that think on footage it could go to 2-1 to Clips because that third round could be like I could be like, you know what, Clips did win that second and third round. But in the building, to say that Big T lost in that building, you are lying. That nigga never lost the crowd. He controlled it perfectly and hit you with bars and sayings and oh man, he won that in the building. He beat the brakes off him in the building. Like in the building. He beat the brakes off him. Like, and I'm talking about how what the crowd was thinking. And I know you're gonna be like, oh, he was in Chicago. Of course, niggas was thinking that. But like in Chicago, niggas also said that Big Cannon lost like bad. And in Chicago, Big Cannon is more of a popular battler in Chicago than Big T is, and that's a fact. So um yeah, that's my take on night and main events. I loved it was better than the St. Louis event. It wasn't better than Summer Madness to me, but it was a better experience because I was more cool with everybody that was in the crowd, and it was just like it didn't go as long, and it was way more females too. So it was a good thing too to see as many people come out. You know what I'm saying? So I want to shout out everybody I met at the battle. You know what I'm saying, from the group. First of all, shout out Chris, shout out Coach. Shout out Johnny. Shout out DeMarco, my nigga. Shout out Manos. That's my dude. Manos is a funny dude, and if you really see what Manos look like, yo, you gonna laugh because you be like, oh, yo, Manos look like he like a genius. Like he's like that stoner genius that could break down and like probably create a robot. Shout outs to Tamika Jackson's, Mickey Fax, I'm trying to think of everybody else. I'm pretty sure Waco was there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was Waco that I made that bet with. Is there anybody else? I'm not trying to forget nobody. I said Johnny, Coach Chris, my nigga Jay Brown was there. Um, if there was anybody else that was in the group that I forgot and that we actually spoke, you know what I'm saying? I apologize, Big T. What up, my nigga? Clips, what up, my nigga? Even though you're gonna make some jokes. And I got lotion on, no homo. Yeah, man. Everybody just holler at me, man. And let me know what y'all think. Well,